Okay, well, we got a nice little crowd here. Looks like we'll pack this in a little bit more. Okay, well, hey, welcome. Thank you, everybody, for coming to another one of our Baltimore Tech Breakfasts. We're now a little over a year into it, and looks like we're growing like weeds. And what do you guys think of the new venue, huh? Yeah. Thank you, thank you. The DLA folks have been wonderful. It's a convenient location for many of us. Hopefully for most of you, this is a little bit more convenient for those coming north of the city-ish. There's parking. Did everybody find parking? Yeah. The only thing that I mentioned is if anybody's parked like immediately right in front of the entrance to DLA, they just requested that we leave that open for their actual customers. So if you're parked right in front where it says visitor parking right in the front, just make sure to move yourself, give themselves a few spots. There's a nice big parking spot, nice big parking lot right up the streetway. We don't want to wear out our welcome too much. So I see that, Gloria. When you get a moment. Well, cool. We have an awesome one. For those of you, how many people here have been to a Baltimore Tech Breakfast before? Oh yeah, look at you all, you regulars. That's great. How many of you are? This is new. This is your first time. Why am I raising my hand? Oh, it's the same people. Wow, you guys are eager to raise. People are eager to raise your hands, which is pretty interesting. Well, the way that this works is this is basically a great showcase for all the cool, innovative, and emerging things happening in tech in Baltimore. It's probably the easiest way to describe what we're doing here. And the format is we have 6 different sets of people come up, show off their thing, their technology. The reason why I don't want to call it a pitch, because it's not really a pitch. This is really just an opportunity for them to show off what they're doing. It's what's called a showcase. I like to think of it as show and tell for adults. And hopefully they've got 7 minutes to do their thing, and then there's 3 minutes of interaction with the audience. And yeah, hopefully it'll be excitement to you. And then after every two showcases we run, we do this thing called a 5-minute shout out, where we have a couple of mics. We don't have stands, but I have a mic up here, and there's like a table back there with a mic on it. And basically anybody can sort of queue up and say whatever they want to say about, they got something to sell, they're doing something, they're looking to hire somebody, whatever. This is your opportunity to let the pressure out, say what you have to say, and that is another way of introducing yourself to everybody in case you want to get something very specific out of the network opportunity here. But we try to keep this nice and friendly and loose and really not to have too many expectations. Trying to keep your expectations low. So first I want to thank our sponsors. DLA Piper has provided this space. We want to thank them. They're around. There's a few of those DLA folks here, so thank you all guys so much. We also have a couple of sponsors. Merrill Lynch is one of our financial sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't have breakfast. I know Andrew couldn't make it this morning. Was anybody else? Is John here from Merrill? No? Okay, I think he's out this morning as well. And also the folks from Bowie and Jensen have been very fortunate to give us a bit of financial support to make this happen. I'll give them a few seconds here. There you go. You could sing your song. Or
I will. I don't have a new little song ditty prepared, but my name is Pamela Rewerts. I'm an attorney at Bowie and Jensen. Our offices are located on the edge of Baltimore and Towson. We also have an office in New York City. We have several areas of law that we practice. Transactional, if you're setting up a corporation, need agreements. We also practice employment law, and then also intellectual property, patents, trademarks, and copyrights. So if you have any questions, feel free to come over and ask. Otherwise, check out our website. It's www.bowie-jensen.com. Thanks a lot.
Great. And we have a nice little crew here providing video. This is the Open Range video folks, and I know David's around here, and we want to thank them so much for providing videos. We have archival here that as proof that stuff does happen in Baltimore. So tell us a little bit about what you guys are up to.
Thanks very much. It's good to see everybody this morning. I just want to introduce my partner over there, Hiro Amano, playing the funky cart, and he does a good job. So everybody, this is just a quick pitch. Sorry, not a showcase here. Want to leave you with a quick snippet of information. According to Cisco Systems, between now and 2016, you're going to see about 1.5 billion video users online around the world. That's going to be up from about 792 million right now. So that's a lot of people out there doing business online. So you know open range video. We do web video. We do webcasting. I'm around locally. Feel free to give me a call. We can talk about being your partner in coming up with a very effective video solution for your company. Okay, thanks. Good to see you, and we'll see you around whenever.
Great. And of course, when you find the video, you're going to see Open Range Video will have their logo and information on our archival, and it'll be up on the Open Range Video YouTube channel, and eventually we'll get our own channel for that too. AOL has provided space for us in the past. We used to be at the advertising.com location. Paris, if you know Paris Pittman, she was supposed to be here this morning manning our badge booth, and I think she might have gotten stuck, so hopefully she'll come in. She'll be in at some point. She may actually give you some badges. One of the things that we're doing is we're trying to keep track of where you all are coming from, and I'll show you some of the interesting results. We did a little bit of mapping to show where all of you are coming from, where you live, where you work. If you haven't had a chance to answer the questions, we've got 2 questions in the profile now. Just what zip code of where you live, what zip code of where you work. It's going to help us make sure that we continue to have these events in convenient locations. Otherwise, we were thinking on a boat on the eastern shore. Maybe if you guys can make that, let me know. All right, so I'm sure I have more announcements. Restrooms, if you haven't found them, you go out and you go around the corner and you go down the hallway that's before the elevators. There's this white hallway, and there's a door that says men's. If you're feeling inclined to use the male restroom, use that one. If you're feeling inclined to use the women's restroom, use that one. If you're Scottish and it's got a picture of a kilt, you'll have to figure out which one you want to use. All right, so without further ado, how are we doing on time? I think Monica is up next. Yes, we're running a little bit long. So, Monica, I think you're around here somewhere. I saw you back there somewhere. There you are. We have our first showcase. So, entertain and educate. You can use these 2 ones up here.
Can I move?
Yeah, just let me off there.
Okay, the average time that it takes for a single drug is 15 years, and it takes $106 million for a new drug to make it to market. Over the course of this time, the 15 years, the process can be divided into 2 sections, drug discovery and drug delivery. Drug discovery takes about 6.5 years, and drug delivery 8.5 years. Drug discovery consists of what's normally known as research and development and preclinical testing, and this includes drug screening, in vitro testing, and animal testing. Drug development contains the process of FDA trials and human trials, and then the R&D process is very expensive and an iterative process. So we think that with computational tools, we can reduce the time to market by 10%, which would end up with a savings of $80 to $100 million. So my name is Monica Berrondo, and I started MacroMoltek to address the high cost of R&D by creating computational tools that help scientists to develop new antibody therapeutic drugs. The process of drug discovery, which is what we focus on, starts by selecting a target of interest. Once you've selected a disease that you want to target, you have to identify the cell, protein, or molecule that's responsible for the disease. Once that's been selected, the target is screened against thousands of molecules to find ones that bind tightly and selectively. If you take all of those molecules and optimize them further, you end up with a smaller number of compounds, and then you can take those and iterate over to find one with the best binding. So the evolution of pharmaceutical industry has taken us from small molecules that are synthesized chemically to large molecules that are thousands of atoms and are synthesized biologically. So penicillin is a well-known small molecule antibiotic. Diabetes affects up to 1 in 10,000 people worldwide, and is treated using synthetically produced insulin. Insulin is an example of a molecule that has been turned into a drug that comes from proteins that are found in our body. A special class of proteins that are successful in treating very aggressive diseases such as cancer and autoimmune diseases are called antibodies. Breast cancer, some types of breast cancer arise when the HER2 protein on the surface of breast cells is defective, causing those cells to reproduce uncontrollably. Herceptin is a synthetic antibody drug that has been created to treat breast cancer by targeting those proteins on the cells and stopping the reproduction of cancerous cells. An antibody forms this Y shape, and from the previous slide, that was the binding site, which is shown in yellow. And the partner of an antibody is called an antigen. Antibodies make great therapeutic agents because of their ability to select a single, very specific antigen out of the thousands of proteins that are found in the human body. So I want to go through and give an analogy for how we can use computational tools to effectively help drug discovery. So if you want to compute the square root of 2012 by hand, use an equation called the an iterative algorithm called the Newton-Raphson method. So taking the following equation, you plug in your guess and use that to iterate over and over until you find a solution that has converged. So for this example, we're going to pick 30 as our starting point, plug it into the equation, and that gives us this approximation. Solving for the value, we get a new value of 48.53. So now we iterate through a number of times until we converge. In this case, after 5 iterations, we've converged to 44.85. So now that you've seen what it's like to compute the square root by hand, this could all have been done very simply using a calculator. So imagine doing this thousands and thousands of times, and each step causing you thousands of dollars. So that is what our solutions do, is address the need for drug discovery by providing computational tools that help scientists by taking the iterative process of testing and design and replacing some of the steps with mathematical algorithms to guide their experiments. And this saves companies millions of dollars. So one of the first steps is to predict the structure of an antibody. MacroMoltek focuses on antibody solutions to help with the design, development, and analysis of antibodies, and our software is available online through an online workspace. Predicting the structure of the antibody can be done experimentally, but it's very difficult and costly. So what we do is through our workspace, we provide tools that allow you to upload the sequence of the unique sequence of an antibody and predict its unique structure. Antibodies are also generally produced in mice. So if you were to take a mouse antibody and inject it into a human, at best, the body would reject that antibody, and at worst, it would cause the patient to get more sick. So one of the important steps in creating a therapeutic is to humanize these antibodies. Humanization refers to taking the mouse portions, the important portions of the mouse antibody, and grafting them onto a human antibody. So we're developing tools to address this and do the antibody humanization process computationally. We've also partnered with a company in Columbia, Maryland that will help us with testing the software. The antibody industry is a part of the larger biologics therapeutic market that has shown dramatic growth over the past 5 years. And antibodies are typically produced by biotech companies, such as Genentech, Genzyme, and Cephalon. And more recently, pharmaceutical companies have started to either develop their own biologics departments or buy out these companies and to grow up their biologics departments. Today, there are over 800 companies worldwide that are looking to develop new antibody therapeutics. And our main competition are academic groups, scientific software companies, and tools that are developed in-house at pharmaceutical companies. Our main advantages over these companies are that we have focused on the antibody problem from the start, and we provide our services online. By providing our software as a service, we're able to target small biotech companies that may not have the computational resources to perform these calculations. So with that, I'd like to thank you for coming, and thank Ron for inviting me and for organizing this the tech breakfast.
So I had the benefit of seeing your app at the there's a JavaScript meetup, and one of the things that was really cool was that your app is a web app that's all written in JavaScript, right?
Well, so we have a bunch of different tools. Most of it is back-end, and all the calculations are performed on the back end. But what we do is provide a way, so the molecules that are produced are these like really complicated molecules that you need software to actually visualize. So what we've done is also one of our products is a web-based JavaScript application where you can view those directly in your web page. So once you get back your solution, you can pull it up directly on the website instead of having to download the file in order to view it. And it's all three-dimensional, so you can like move it around and see how where exactly your binding site is that you're looking for.
Cool. All right, a little too early for calculus in the morning. Good thing you had a calculator there. That's good. Let's start with some comments, criticisms, questions, complaints, kumquats. Don't make me cucumbers. I can keep going. Anybody? No? Yes. And there's a microphone back there, too. I'll try to get that going.
I recall this before. I forget various, I think 10 years ago. Something that's vaguely like this. So yours is probably different because it's specialized in antibodies?
Yeah, most companies that that have worked on software for similar, like for drug discovery, look at small molecules and those interactions with proteins. There are very few software packages at all that deal with these large, complex molecules. And antibodies are kind of what the focus has been over the last 2 years. So it's very new.
Great. Is there another one back here? Yes.
I was just curious about some of the technical aspects of your solution, kind of what code you're using, how big it is, how long it's been in development, how many people you have working on it, those kind of things.
Okay, so let's see. All the like complex algorithms are in C#, which is run on the back end. And the code is, I don't know, tens of thousands of lines. It's pretty big. It does a lot of computations and a lot of iterations of algorithms. And I have another programmer that does more like the overarching view, and then a scientific algorithm developer that helps actually just come up with the algorithms, and then I code those into the C#.
So there's 3 of you?
Yes.
That's impressive.
Oh, and we started, it took about a year to write most of this. So we started about a year ago with the actual writing.
Good stuff. Okay. All right, well, thank you very much, Monica. Good job. I guess, KC, you're up next. Great, so while we're swapping around here. Okay, yep, that was good. It's good, keep you all thinking, get those brains cranking in the morning. Okay, everybody, quick quiz. What was the square root of 2012? Everybody remember? 45 points on. There you go. Okay, someone was paying attention. If there's one thing you learned today, it's the square root of 2012. Okay. All right, now KC, we'll switch it up a little bit. I think we're going to change gears.
Yeah, this is not scientific at all. Those scientists might enjoy this at the end of a day. Hi, I'm Casey Hopson with Hahler, and since early morning is the theme, and I know it's early in the morning, but how many of you like to drink alcohol? Just raise your hand. Yeah, that's great. Well, if you like alcohol, Hahler's the place for you. We had a nice write-up in the Examiner the other day, and the writer put it perfectly. If you take Twitter and Foursquare and Facebook and Instagram and you put it in a blender and served it as a cocktail, you would get Hahler. So at the heart of Hahler is our virtual liquor store. And our virtual liquor store has 2 components, a visual library of the drinks that have been uploaded by our users to the system, and a liquor database of over 80,000 liquors. So when you start typing in what you're drinking, it pre-populates it like Google. We've just gone into beta just a couple weeks ago, so we're very early in the stages, and we've been getting our users through Twitter accounts, including Hahler Girl, which is my wife over there, and Hahler Girl has 1,750 followers as of this morning, and they're all liquor people, and they've been checking out the site for us. So the whole time we've been writing this for about a year, we've been building up these followers. We wrote liquor stories. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see links to our stories. But so that was kind of a cool thing doing all that, because while we were writing the software, we were bringing prospective users to the system. People can get in, log in with a Twitter Connect, which already a lot of people are doing that. Otherwise, you need an invitation to join. So if you want to go right in, just use Twitter Connect. And we're also working on Facebook Connect. Once you're logged in, it takes you straight to our liquor store, and you could put in a drink and search on the drink. Well, just do Bud. Everybody likes Bud, and Bud comes up. And if you like that drink, you could like it, or you could click on drink, and I'll just put in something. I'll say too early for this. And you can post it to Twitter, and I'll post a link to it. And this takes you to our Hahler feed page, and it's what people have been posting to the site. So we have our drinks. I posted a couple things. There's some weird drinks someone from Europe posted last night. Looks very interesting, and so forth. The way you can upload your drinks, you can basically is what we call a Hahler, and you can upload it from a file or from a URL. So if you got a website, you can just put in the link, and it previews the images a la Pinterest, and then you pick the one you want to upload, and then you do what I just did with the drink. You Hahler it and you post it to the feed. Once you pick a drink, it also puts it in your bar. So you have your own virtual bar. So if you just pound down Bud a lot, you can just go to your bar and click on drink and knock it down. So and if you wanted to do a new post, we have our liquor check-in, and it does a lot of pre-populating and all that kind of stuff. So I can just say drinking down I like this beer. So we'll just do that. And then you saw our little database there. And then once more, if you Hahler that, it's going to post it and put it on Twitter and so forth. The feed, the other things you can do with the feed is if you like somebody, you click on the name, and they're a party animal. You can see what they've been drinking, and you can make them a party animal, and then they're like your Twitter following. And of course, you can drink their stuff, and the drinking can be like a communication. So if you like the drink, I just say a beautiful bottle, whatever. And one of the things we learned about looking at all the site is how beautiful these liquor images are. They're just gorgeous. And so I could just say, and then we started a little conversation there. So I guess it's like a wink. And also, and this is a popular feature, one of our hypotheses is that people who like alcohol don't just think about alcohol in the evening, but think about it during the day. And we found that we get a surprising amount of activity early on a Monday morning. So after that first meeting, they're already thinking about drinks. So the I need a drink is, well, this is a good one. I plan to drink after work because it's Monday. Yeah. That's a good thing. So we try to pre-populate and give people some teasers on what's going on, and then we also have notifications and profiles and upload. We can with the Twitter Connect and the Facebook Connect. You'll be able to upload your image from Twitter or Facebook and post to it, and so forth. And like I said, we just went into beta, and right now we're going real slow. We're just kind of getting to users, trying to figure out what users like, don't like, and get that down till we have something that we think really kind of cooks. And then I'll think about taking it to the next stage. So we're taking our time with beta. The next things we have in line is we're going to have a virtual send a drink, which is an image of your drink, and you'll send it to a friend, and also some contests. So you could do something like Jack Daniels versus Johnny Walker, and people can go in and vote on it. I think it's going to be really cool. And I'm looking at doing some Instagram integration. So we're just going to kind of keep this thing going. And that's kind of my general overview of things.
Well, great. Good. So the entrepreneur in me is thinking, it's like, okay, well, what's the business opportunity? What's the business model? And I'm sure you have thought about a lot of iterations of this, probably during or after drinks. And it's been like around, I would imagine if you're giving people basically the opportunity, you're creating a community around alcoholic beverages, basically, and maybe even around very, very specific ones, like people really, really like their specific tequilas or whatever. Have you gone out to the beverage manufacturers and said, look, can we do this thing where, if they tweet about you, they get a drink, maybe they get some sort of coupon or some sort of exchange, they could take that, they could redeem it at a bar, and so it gives them all of this marketing, they get all these people tweeting about like these drinks and like building up demand, and then they can go and and it's worth it for the people to do it, not just because they like the drinks, but they also get rewards. Have you sort of approached the manufacturers and looked at revenue that way?
I need a little drink before I answer your question. Yeah.
All right, the Monday morning drink.
Yeah.
I hope is that allowed here at DLA Piper? I don't know. Did you sign the waiver? I don't know. I didn't sign it.
So it's just water. So yeah, we've been thinking about along those lines. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think my main thing is trying to figure out how to get people to use the system. I think we've got a lot of ways we could do to generate revenue, but if we can't get people using the system, we ain't going to be able to do anything. So I want to first get to the point where I think people are using it. I have a little luxury. I didn't go out and get venture capital, so I have time to figure out what works. And then there's things along your lines we could do. We got the sponsored links when the people type in Google. And I think if we got enough following, we could do almost like a Groupon thing with liquor stores and things like that. So my first step is just to get people using the system, and then kind of go from there. If people aren't using the system, I don't have a business. So
okay, all right. Let's spread the cheer here. Okay.
Good morning. Thanks for that, Joe. Just quick recap. MacroMoltek, your development. They fold proteins in space, rotating three-dimensional. Hahler, your development, you find me a shot of Jaeger.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Awesome. Where do I sign up? That's awesome.
I'm sorry, I missed your question.
No, so the question.
I guess I'm drinking too early.
So the question is, no. So again, getting back to the idea. So one of the things that's kept alcoholic beverage companies off Twitter so far is that they can't age gate. They can't really confirm, the age of people they're communicating with. Are you trying to pitch to them that, hey, we're the solution that can age gate for Twitter?
Yeah, we do have, we are, the age thing is, we do a 21 check, and obviously Facebook, we can use some of their information to do that. So, that has come up, and we're kind of working, that's definitely at the back of a lot of things we're doing.
Yep. Good. Comment, it's okay, comments are good too, don't have to be questions.
Yeah, insults, whatever works for you.
I call them criticisms.
Hi. Have you heard of or considered an integration with Untapped?
Oh, Untapped.
Yeah, I've heard of Untapped. Untapped's the only company that I'm really aware of that does anything like this. I think we're going off in kind of a wilder direction. Untapped is very focused on the craft beer market, which is fine, and they seem to be just, their users are the craft beer types, and we're not. I think we're more going to be a hard liquor wine crowd. I think so. So I think we're going in a different direction with the images and all that, and some of the contests. So I just think we're going in a different direction.
Yeah.
Are you going to be developing your own autocorrect algorithm once people have thrown back a few?
Here, actually.
I'm not quite sure what you mean, but in terms of all that, what we do want to develop is a good feedback loop. You wouldn't believe how many new liquors are coming out every week. I mean, people are just cranking this stuff out. We got 80,000 liquors, and I'm constantly typing that out. So we do want to have a kind of a feedback loop where we can get the liquors that people are bringing in and update our database. I think the database itself, we want to get to the point where the database itself has some value. So I hope that answers your question.
Yep, back there.
Casey, what about a lounge with a live chat?
Yeah, that's definitely something we're holding in the back of our mind. Initially, I wanted to kind of do something kind of like a Zynga drinking bar thing, but we don't have enough game talent, programming talent in-house to do that, but I'd love to go somewhere in that direction.
Great. Back here. Thanks.
How about mobile? You know, I would find myself more likely to be on my phone than in front of a computer.
Yes, that's a great question, and I think once we kind of get a feel, because obviously web development's a little cheaper than mobile. Once we get a feel for how people are using the system, then I think we'll make a mobile push. But it's a lot cheaper to figure out what people want on the web before pushing over. Also, I don't want to shoot our wad. You got with mobile, and you got a lousy product, then you kind of blown it. I'd rather have worked out all the issues and then go mobile.
Yes, have you thought about studying behavior? I mean, that would be an interesting means to study, you know, drinking behavior and demographics. Get with some college professor or something.
Oh, that's going to be very much at the heart of tracking everything. Is very much at the heart of this. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see some of the behaviors.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we had someone have a drink because he was going to a funeral yesterday. So, you know. All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you,
everybody.
guys. Thank you. That's good. Well, I'd like to say thank you, DLA. It was great having us here, but I pretty much killed it. Okay, no, I'm joking.